Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers. In today's video, we're going to talk about product photography. Now, this is something very simple. You can try this at home. You don't need any special equipment, and I'll show you my setup in just a second. Really going to give you the beginner's guide to it. So find something suitable that you'd like to photograph. You can pick up anything you like, just a piece of fruit for starters, or any products that you might have in your kitchen cupboards, a tin perhaps, or maybe a little bottle of something. Let me show you my setup. First of all, I've set my camera up on a tripod, and that's really quite essential for product photography. You need it on a nice stable base and in a fixed position. Now, for my product, I've chosen just this little bottle of wine, and I'd recommend, probably find it easier to start with smaller items. And all I've got is two pieces. They're just simply black card, and I put one behind and so the product on it. And if you put a little bit of distance between what you're trying to photograph and the product at the back, you'll find that'll help. When you come to crop in later, it'll help to make that background disappear. Let me give you a top tip if you're thinking about photographing something like me, like a bottle or a liquid, especially if it's something that you normally serve cold. So one of the things you'll need a little squirty bottle so you can spray a little bit of water onto your product. Go and get yourself some glycerine. Now, if you haven't come across that before, you'll find that in the cake baking aisle in your local supermarket. And you literally just put a few drops into your bottle, and it just helps the water form sort of bigger little droplets. The other thing to do is get yourself some petroleum jelly or Vaseline, and we're just going to very lightly smear the areas of our product where we want the water to stick to. The thing about the petroleum jelly is that it repels water, so the droplets will form nice big bubbles, and that'll help them to stand out in your photograph. I'm going to lightly spray my bottle. So that's got now a nice little selection of bubbles on it. So let's talk about camera settings. I'm going to choose 2 seconds for my shutter speed. I'm going to set a 5-second delay on my shutter to give me time to get into position. I'm going to manually focus or use back button focus, and if you don't know how to do that, I'll put a link to a video that shows you how. Now, for my aperture, I'm going to choose something around f3.5. I want to keep quite a shallow depth of focus because I want the background to go out of focus, but I'd like the whole of the bottle to be fairly crisp. Now, I'm also going to do a little second shot, which is a real close-up on the label, just showing the droplets of water. I've got a macro lens on here, so for that I will choose a much narrower aperture like f10. Or what we're actually going to do is shine the light over the top of our product here. I want to be careful not to get too much shadow, but I just want to highlight the features of the bottle and not really any of the background. So I'm going to switch off all the lights to take this, because I want the light from my little light to be what's creating the exposure. So you won't be able to see this very well on video, but I hope you get the idea. And it takes a bit of trial and error. And this is what I've ended up with. This is the full bottle shot. That was taken 2 seconds, f3.5. And then this is the close-up shot done on the macro setting on my lens, taken at f10 and 2 seconds. You can see how the glycerine and Vaseline helps those droplets of water to really form those nice little globules, showing a bottle that looks really chilled. I hope you've enjoyed that quick product photography tutorial, and I'd love to see some of your shots. You can share them in the Nifty 50 Photographers Facebook group. And if you want to see more tips and tricks like this, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, go out and have some fun with your camera. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.